Yeah, what's doing, guys? Back with a fresh vinyl review, and today we're looking at the brand new, just released for the spring of 2018, the X Plus Gigantic Series Godzilla 1964. Boom! Right! Very excited. Already, sort of. We'll get to that. Yeah, I mean, I should be like stupid excited because it's the Godzilla 64, my favorite Godzilla suit, favorite incarnation of Godzilla, etc. from 1964. Mothra vs. Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Love it. He looks like a beast. Will this topple my favorite 30 centimeter 64? That's currently my favorite X Plus figure right there. I'll let you know at the end. Bam. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the figure. Just released. It's getting into collectors' hands early April 2018. Figure, it was released in Japan the end of March, so it's making its way across the United States here now. And what do we think of it? What do we think? So that's a big question. Let's talk about the box real quick. Here's the rest of the box because I got rid of the box. I drop it off at work, dump it, cut it up, whatever, and I just keep the box cover. Don't need all the other stuff. When you unbox your figure, most cases you're going to get just the figure in the shipping carton because they can only fit one figure, per shipping carton. It's inside of a big brown box, inside of another big brown box, inside of the styrofoam. What I liked about the styrofoam on this one is they actually made little handles on it so you could just pick it right up. Well, the other ones like that? I don't know. Maybe the Gigantic Shin was, but mine got disassembled out of the box and shipped over to me without any of that junk. So, anyway, box real plain and simple. Cool box art, just black and white, Godzilla 64 on it. Okay? All right. I did go Rick. So, the Rick comes with the blue dorsal plates, as you can see here, and it comes with two jaw options, open mouth and closed mouth, sort of closed mouth, semi-closed mouth, still kind of open mouth, okay? But we'll talk about that. So that was the Rick. The standard comes with standard stylized dorsal plates and no option for a closed mouth jaw. So as I'm actually looking at this right now about the Rick, before I put the tail and I looked up Godzilla's butt, and if any of you guys out there that are good at modifying your figures, I've seen some figures be lit up, especially the Gigantic Shin. Somebody lit that guy up like a Christmas tree. But you should, and you will be able to somehow get lights up in here and light this Godzilla figure up if you are a skilled assassin to do that, okay? I don't know why you're an assassin, but you gotta be like super skilled at that. I can't do it. I'm not even gonna attempt it. I think it looks fine the way it does. Right? Yeah, I think the dorsal plates look pretty cool, actually. So I am glad I went Rick because the blue looks cool. Blue looks cool. Blue looks cool. Oh, boy. I don't know what I'm saying there. But anyway. So, all right. Let's talk about the pros first. Pros, the detail on the figure looks very, very good. Lots of deep scales throughout the figure. A lot of depth to this figure. That looks great. Godzilla's posture, he's he's mid-step, he's kind of leaning forward, tail's cocked out to his right, so that looks good. That's going to kind of make it a little bit easier to put him on the shelf. Actually, I don't know where I'm going to put him because I don't have any room up above me anyways, so I'll have to figure something out. Probably just going to scrunch everything all together and make it a big old fresh vinyl scrunch fest, okay? So we'll figure that out. If not, I'll just put him on the kitchen table. But anyway, so the detail looks good. Lots of, again, the skin, his charcoal bark-like skin is very deep on this figure, and it does look really good, okay? Posture we talked about. Godzilla's head. Let's talk about Godzilla's head. He's kind of leaning forward a little bit, where instead it'd be cool if he was kind of like straight up, but this Godzilla's head, on this figure, he's leaning forward. If you're trying to take pictures, the head's coming at the lens before the rest of the body catches up, and it kind of makes for some distorted pictures. So this is going to make a challenging figure to take good photographs of, okay? The arms. It's kind of not a pro. Well, let me finish the pros here. The paint job does look good. A lot of nice dry brushing about the chest and the stomach area. It's not very dirty looking, but it is kind of dirty looking. It's not like dirty like he just came out of the sand, out of the beach in the beginning of Mothra vs. Godzilla. But this has got a nice dry brush, very similar to the original 30 centimeter Godzilla 64. It's somewhere over here. I don't know where he's at. But even the Rick that I have right behind me. Very similar paint job, very nicely done. So no complaints there. It does look good. Again, I always talk about the paint. The paint job will give a certain style and sense of depth to the figure. So that's important, okay? The eyes look cool. They do kind of look Cookie Monster-like, but the eyes are actually a clear pieces of plastic with a pupil on top of that, and behind that plastic is the rest of the vinyl eyeball per se, so it gives it that foggy-eyed look that we know and are accustomed to with the 64 Godzilla. So that does look pretty good. The eyes kind of don't look like they're aiming in the right direction, but maybe it's my eyes. I don't know, but to me, it's a minor complaint. I think they could have aligned them a little teeny bit better, but they look cool. Okay. The arms, traditional 64 style pose. That's how Nakajima walked. He had his arms bent at the elbows, hands up. So those look good, except the hands look a little bit small on this figure. They just look a teeny bit small. I have to go back and watch the movie, maybe look at a couple other figures. I don't know. I mean, it's not enough to like, oh my god, look, the hands stick out like, you know, that guy that's eating the Whopper in the Burger King commercial. Not like drastically small, but they do look on a little bit of a small side, okay? And some people thinking that the head looks big. I don't know. I mean, it's not something that sticks out like, oh man, wow, this figure looks off, the proportions are all off. Maybe it's the way it's leaning. That's what I think. I think because he's leaning forward, that makes the proportions look a little odd. Or maybe because the hands are a little bit smaller, maybe it makes the head look bigger. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to love this figure, but you can't. You know, when it's not wowing you right out of the box, but it did wow me. I mean, it did. I mean, it's a big, gigantic 64, so it is pretty cool. So, dorsal plate's good, arms, hands, legs. Actually, what I like about, as far as the detail of this figure, it does look good because he's got that very baggy-like, he's capturing what the suit looked like, okay? If you look up here in the neck, it's a little baggy, and that's where Nakajima's face was, and there is a couple little holes there where Nakajima looked out of, so that looks good. The legs, all baggy-like and everything, saggy, baggy. Nice detail on the legs, on the skin, and the toes. And the paint job on the toenails, on the feet, and on the fingernails, nicely done with a bone white that blends in nicely with the charcoal gray skin. So that looks good. No, really, the paint job is done very well on this figure. So and it comes with a stand. Does he really need it? No, but he doesn't sit right. So just use your stand, and he's nice and balanced perfectly, no wobbling. All right, so one of the Rick features, aside from the dorsal plates that do look pretty good, is the extra jaw. So, out of the box, you get the open jaw. Now, I'm going to pull this one off here. They kind of look the same. They are very, very, very similar. The only difference is there's a little bit of a modification as to the jaw being up or down. So, this is the open jaw. And all you got to do is just pull it on and off with ease. No issues there. And he pops on. So that's what he looks like with his mouth open, okay? And then if you want to swap it out. Now, actually, mind you, before I swap it out, the mouth should be open, I guess, because he's got blue dorsal plates, which means he's ready to use his atomic breath. Right? Okay, boom. Pull that off, and now we're going to have a closed mouth. X Plus touted, boosted, teased that we're going to have a closed mouth feature. And the closed mouth, everybody loves the closed mouth Rick 64 over here, right? Right, I do. So we thought we were going to get something very, very similar to that with the gigantic. But the mouth does not completely close. Now, is that a horrible thing? No. I mean, it's mostly closed, but we all thought we were getting a closed mouth. So some of us thought maybe we could cut the bottom teeth out off the bottom of this jaw here and somehow maybe close the mouth a little bit more. That ain't going to work. Because you cut the teeth out, the jaw is still not closing. You're going to have to either cut the teeth out and push it up under your, close nice and tight. But then you're going to have this gap underneath here where the jaw locks in. So you're going to have to putty it up, sculpt it, and paint it to blend it in. But then the problem is you're going to have a permanent closed gigantic 64. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Then you're just going to have an extra jaw with nothing to do it. Or maybe you could stick it up here. You can have like a back jaw. Okay? I don't know. So that's the thing with the bottom jaw. It's like, why have two open mouths? We were supposed to get a closed one. I went back and looked at the Rick pictures. I'm like, damn. Yeah, it's pretty much closed. So, darn it. I was expecting figure of the year quality here, people. And it's not there. Okay? It's not there. As far as here, I'm not gonna pull him up. You guys can see how big he is. But the 30 centimeter here, still my number one. Okay. Again, I was very excited for this figure. I thought it was gonna be a knockout of the park, home run. You know, freaking grand slam. It is. Oh, it's not a grand slam. It's not a home run. It's kind of like, a double play, not a triple. Maybe like a double and a half play. I don't know. But I mean, I'm very excited to have a gigantic 64. There's a couple of us that we agreed this is no M1 64, so that's going to be on my hit list for sure. Because I want that one even more. The M1, big 50, 60 centimeter version. This guy, he's what, 19 inches tall. Still a nice size figure, don't get me wrong. Nice size, gigantic. I don't even know how he stacks up next to the other ones because I haven't done any pictures yet of this guy at the time of this recording. At this point in time, but you've already seen pictures or whatever. So, really, that's my take. It's a beautiful figure. If you got it from Mike Johnson or any of the other retailers that are able to get you the Rick, you were paying probably around between $400, give or take. Well, let's see. The shipping was about $100. Woo! EMS shipping, yeah, that's pricey, but it's a big figure. So, that brings the figure, the Rick, probably right around the 400 mark, give or take. The standard, I don't even remember what the standard was priced at, so that was probably maybe 320, maybe 300. And you could have got that with a hobby search or, I don't even know if Ami did it. But anyway, so Rick Gigantic 64, pretty cool. It is very cool, don't get me wrong, but these kind of hits on a Gigantic 64, I'm a 64 mark. I want perfection, and that is not what we got. Do I expect perfection for every figure? No. I know. Everything has its problems. Or not everything, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's it. So, I'm going to give the figure like a 7.5 out of 10. I think me and my buddy David are right around the same mark. So, 7.5. It's not perfect. It's not horrible. It is a good-looking figure from certain angles. Again, I didn't even touch on that. From certain angles, it doesn't look right. It's just like the Rick or the 62. From certain angles, the Gigantic 62 does not look right at all. So that's really my 2 cents. I'm going to stop rambling there. Hit me up in the comments section. We'll shoot the breeze back and forth. If you guys got questions or concerns, or just want to hear more of my opinion. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video of Fresh Vinyl Reviews. Wow, that's completely never what I say. Why did I say that? But anyway, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl. Bam!